We're at World Travel Tourism Council in Abu Dhabi. Michele McKenzie from Canada. We're going to talk about Canada. Michele, tell me, how are you doing? How's Canada's tourism doing?
Tourism's doing really good in Canada. Mostly we've got a really strong domestic market. It's kind of on fire. So that's been really a very strong part of our industry. Our U.S. market's starting to come back. We've lost a lot of U.S. business through the 2000s, and just coming back to 2012 was the first year that we've really seen that turnaround again, so we're optimistic about where that market's going. Other than that, our emerging markets, Brazil, India, China, those markets are on fire, and our other core markets are doing quite well as well. They're a bit flat out of Europe to Canada. Australia is a very bright spot for our traditional markets. So a bit of a mixed bag, but overall industry is really very robust in Canada.
Now, when you're marketing to Australia, why is it so successful? What are the constituent parts of your marketing or the product that appeals to Australians?
Well, Australians love the idea of a train journey in the Canadian Rockies. So that's a trip that's a dream trip, and many people will come and take that trip. So they'll come for about 30 days. They'll spend a week on a train journey through the Canadian Rockies. Sometimes they'll add in a cruise from Vancouver, maybe up to Alaska, as part of that whole West Coast trip. So they really dream about a West Coast vacation. It's a long vacation. It's all-encompassing, including different modes of travel. And then after we get them to come once, we kind of want to entice them to try Eastern Canada as a second vacation. So we're starting to see more of those visits now as well.
Cool. Now, as far as the European market is concerned, you're talking about it's barely depressed, and of course the economies of Europe are nearly all not looking that good at the moment.
Yeah.
In particular, the UK, though, the government has been ranking up their taxes more and more with APD. I wonder if you've noticed any adverse effect that's had on inbound tourism or not?
Yeah, but we've seen certainly a price sensitivity coming out of the UK market, and I think that's APD is part of that, as well as other factors. So it's been a bit of a challenge for us. Our UK visitation has been quite flat. We've seen other strength in Europe. France in particular has been a very strong market for Canada, with growth in 2012, and we weren't really expecting that. So I do think that the fees probably do have some impact on overall demand, especially when the fees are as substantial as we see coming out of the UK.
Sure. And are you still seeing an effect from the Olympic Games? Has that been a positive for you?
It has been a positive. One of the things that we've found that's been really quite striking is we spend a lot of time during the Games speaking about the types of culinary experiences that we have in Canada. Canada's not really well known as a foodie destination, and now we're starting to see our rankings as a foodie destination and our awareness for great culinary experiences really becoming much better known. And we think that has a lot to do with the coverage that we had during the Olympics. Not just the broadcast coverage, but all of the digital coverage that took place. It was a big theme of those of that coverage. So we've seen that reputation really improve in the world.
Cool. Now, final question. We're jumping from subject to subject somewhat, but the strength of the Canadian dollar must have been a challenge for you. You mentioned price sensitivity. How are you overcoming that? Are you trying to create Canada as being a much lower volume, higher value destination, or are you adding value, or how are your operators getting on?
We're very much going after a higher value customer and lower volume type of strategy. It's working for us. We're finding there's lots of customers out there in the world that want to come to Canada that aren't as price sensitive, and that's our priority.
Thank you very much.
Michele, Charles Ko, USA. Quick question about USA. Could you just talk about that market a little bit?
Well, the U.S. market is a bit of a double-edged sword for us. Of course, Canadians love to travel into the U.S., and they're really our very best friends. So we have lots of Canadian ambassadors down there promoting Canada, and our travel from the U.S. has started to come back. It's come back in 2012 in terms of the leisure market. Our meetings and conventions and incentive travel market has been strong all the way throughout the 2000s, so it is a bit of a mixed bag. The one thing that's changed in the last couple of years is the introduction of Brand USA. So for the first time, we have a very aggressive marketer south of the border, and they're going after our market. So I mentioned that we have a strong domestic market. The U.S. recognizes that. They want some of that business. They're trying to pull our domestic market into the U.S., and they're doing a good job. But the other part of that we're finding is really a great opportunity is that for the first time we have a marketing partner going into overseas markets. So we're looking forward to working aggressively with Brand USA. We're already talking about doing research partnerships, doing partnerships around fam tours, etc. So it's exciting times working with our friends south of the border.
Wonderful, yes. We finally have something going down
Yay.
there. Michele McKenzie, CEO of Canada Tourism, thank you very much.
Thank you.